Hello, hello. So we're trying this again. Just make sure that I am live on LinkedIn because that's the one that gave me some problems earlier. Technology. We love it and we hate it all at the same time. Okay, fantastic. I am live. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you very much for those of you, for your patience and everything like that. I know I was scheduled to go live at 12. I hit the live button and whatever reason, LinkedIn decided that it was not going to allow me to go live. So I'm doing this again. It is Thursday. We're having one of these conversations again where we're talking about, basically I'm helping you to move from styling in the dark to styling for impact. I'm feeling very springy today, like spring is in the air. So hence my spring look. Let me know what you guys think of my outfit today. Felt very spring, getting into that warmer weather. So thanks again for joining me. I'm just gonna, since we're rebroadcasting again for the second time, I am going to just give you a chance to pop in. Let me know how is the connection, because I think I noticed this the last time that for some reason or not, the connection was a bit off. Let me know if you can see me and hear me properly in the comments. Just looking at this kind of looks like the broadcast is a bit grainy. Come on, Wi-Fi. Let's get this right. So today I have a very interesting topic that I wanted to discuss today. I know, like, oh yeah, technology is just totally out of whack today. So yeah, anyway. So enough about that. Let's get into the conversation. I do have a very interesting topic that I want to talk about today because I think we've all experienced this in our lives where we would have gone through in one way or the other. We would have settled for less than we deserve, sometimes it's not intentionally that we do it, but we've accepted and said, oh, whether or not it's a job, and we're going, okay, so it's better that I have this job instead, I could have been unemployed. So at least I have this job, or at least I'm in a relationship, or at least I'm this, right? And we're not allowing ourselves to really accomplish the things that we want and really go after the things that we want. So that's what today's conversation is about. It's about showing you some of the ways that you settling for less in your everyday life is also showing up in your closet. So as I said, this is going to be an interesting one. So let me know in the comments when was a time that you settled for less, and how did it show up in your life and in your closet? How did it affect you? What are some of the things that you went through, and how did you get over that period of time? So I want to know what your thoughts are, definitely in the comments as we have this conversation. For those of you who are connecting with me for the first time, thank you very much for being here, whether or not you're watching it live or on the replay. Thank you very much for being here. My name is Salita Roberts. I'm an image coach and personal stylist. My job is to help women like you and entrepreneurs like you refine your image so that you can have more confidence, so that you can be seen, so that you can be heard, because you want to be able to use your voice and speak up for the things that matter, and also be able to get you paid with what you're worth. So that's the conversation. Everything, as you can see, just goes into one in everything that we're talking about when it comes to settling for less and being able to be, get paid your worth. In my research, I came across this quote by Nelson Mandela, and I'm going to just paraphrase it just to the last end of it, which says, there is nothing to gain from settling for a version of you less than the quality of your potential. Let me say that again. There is nothing to gain from settling for a version of you less than the quality of your potential, right? How many times have you settled for something less than you deserve? How many times have you, know in your heart that you deserve a lot more, but you haven't allowed yourself to go after the things that you want, or really get the things that you want, or whether or not it's out of fear, whether or not it is that you felt stuck, or you felt as though that at least you have something, at least you have this, at least you're getting by, or you're okay, and maybe one day you'll get better, right? Because we see that we settle for less in our relationships, we settle for less in our careers, and we settle for less in our businesses. We choose as well not to speak up on things that really matter to us when we settle for less, right? We choose to wear clothes to fit in rather than wear clothes that really reflects who we are, and how we want to represent ourselves, and how we really want to communicate our values and who we are as a person, because we don't want to feel as though we're being judged by others, and we don't want to come across as, oh, we're trying too much. So what we do, we settle for less than, so in a way to appease everyone, to make everyone else happy instead of making ourselves happy. So if any of this resonates with you, this is a conversation that, what I'm going to be talking about today, and just kind of like sharing with you 3 ways in which settling for less is showing up in your closet. Because when we settle for less, it does affect every aspect of our lives. It affects us financially, because, we in a career that we don't love, and it's not paying us what we're worth. So we settle for that, and financially we're not able to meet our goals. We settle for it in our relationships, relationships that we know are not supportive in our journey and who we are, and it's not a relationship that you have that companionship, and you have that openness, and you have that space where you can be authentic and be yourself and share your feelings and not being judged. So we settle for those relationships that are less than, and we settle for the clothing that we wear as well that are less than, that don't represent who we are. So that's what I'm going to be breaking down today. And the first way in which you are settling for less, and how you're settling for less is affecting your closet and what you wear, is because you have an unlimited amount of hand-me-downs. Now, before I get into anything, let's get this straight. I am not saying that hand-me-downs is wrong. It's not a bad thing, and it's not wrong that you have them, because from my own personal experience, I grew up on 3 things. I grew up on hand-me-downs. I grew up on the very, very cheap clothing. I'm talking wear and wash, like, wear and toss, right? Because if you wash it, when you wash it, that's it. It's of no use anymore. And I also grew up on my mom sewing, clothing for us. So I know what it's like to being a space where you're not able to really wear the things that you want, and you have to accept in that phase that you're gonna get some hand-me-downs. Persons are gonna go through their closet, and there's some things that they'll be like, oh, they can gift it to someone else. So don't feel bad that you do have hand-me-downs in your closet. But what I want to encourage you to do is to reduce the amount of hand-me-downs that you have. Don't solely build your image and your personal style on that, because you haven't really created your personal style. You're collecting things from, that other persons would have used and worn based on their personal style, and they're passing it over to you. So you haven't, in a sense, developed your style. It's whatever you receive from, your friends, your family, that's what you wear. And ultimately, that is what you quote unquote think is your style, when it's really not. So I want you to make space in your closet, right, of getting rid of some of those hand-me-downs. Yes, they're going to be some of those pieces that you really love, and that's fine. But try and get rid of some of those, give them to someone else, pass it along, because that's what we're about, making sure that we buy pieces and have pieces that, can move from one cycle to the next, and it's not just wear and toss. So get rid of some of the pieces that you do have in your closet, some of those hand-me-downs, and start investing in buying newer pieces, pieces that really speak to your personal style and really speak to what you love. So that is the first way in which you settling for less being in this sense, whatever someone gives you, whatever they don't want anymore. So you accept it, when really and truly that's not what you want. You want to have your own style, and you want to have your own pieces in your closet. So I want you to be able to raise your standard, raise your value, right? Because that is what you're doing when you raise your value by showing up and wearing pieces that's authentically you. You're raising your value to be able to get those high paying speaking gigs, those higher paying clients, and the career opportunity that you require that's going to pay you a lot more. So raise your standard, invest in buying pieces that you love, and you will see that, as I said, those changes that you're looking for will start to happen. So that's the first way, which is to reduce the amount of hand-me-downs that's in your closet. Way number two, that where you're settling for less is showing up in your closet, is that you're comparing yourself to others. We've all done it at some point in our lives. We go through different changes in our bodies, and our self-esteem, our confidence, and everything is affected by so many things that's happening around us, right? And we start to do that. We get into that comparison analysis thing where we're just looking at everyone else and we're like, oh my gosh, I wish I can dress like that, or oh, I wish my body looked like that, or I wish that I can pull that outfit off, right? Because you don't believe in yourself. You don't think that you are worthy of looking just as good as that person that you're looking at. You don't think that your body, what you wear is good enough. So instead of accepting who you are, you're comparing yourself, you're settling for, okay, I'm just going to wear this little old thing because I don't have that body like, the lady that I saw on that movie or the magazines, or, wherever you're looking at persons and comparing yourself to. So you are downplaying and devaluing who you are by comparing yourself. So it's about accepting who you are and showing up in a way that is authentic to you. And I'm going to use that word a lot because that is what you want to be able to do, to show up as your most authentic self. Because at the end of the day, if you don't show up as your most authentic self, if you don't see value in yourself and the way you show up, then more than likely others wouldn't view you the way that you want to be viewed. So that is important that you do that, is not compare yourself to others. Really show up as you want to, and to challenge yourself to accept the things that you really want, go after the things that you want, and don't settle for anything that's less than what you want in life and what you're trying to accomplish. So way number three is going back to, going to the hand-me-downs and of course comparing yourself, is that you somewhat settle for whatever's in front of you, if you know what I mean, right? That is that whatever's in front of me, I'm just going to accept. I know this is not what I want. Ideally, it's not what I want, but I'm just going to accept this for now, and let's see what happens. Maybe I like it, maybe I wouldn't, and we try and figure out where we stand on that. All right. So just to give you a story, I've always wanted cashmere sweaters. Like, who doesn't want a cashmere sweater, right? And there was this red cashmere sweater that I found online that I saw in Nordstrom's, like, oh, I want to have that. And they were having sale as well. So it was at a reasonable price point for me to be able to buy it. But they didn't have my size. And I decided, I looked around, there were other cashmere sweaters in different colors. that, yeah, I liked the colors, but for some reason I was stuck on, I wanted a red cashmere sweater. And because I couldn't get that red cashmere sweater, I was like, you know what? I need a red sweater any which way. So I went to H&M and I bought a red sweater. It wasn't cashmere. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I was like, I needed a red sweater any which way. So I'll just grab this one. And I came home, I took it out, I watched it, I looked at it, and I was like, kind of left the tag on it and kind of put it away. And every time I look at that sweater, I felt as though like I'm settling, right? It's like I really wanted a cashmere sweater. I could have just waited for when my size became available instead of just going to buy something that really wasn't what I wanted or really didn't represent, how I wanted to show up. So what happened? I never wore that sweater. It's just sitting there because it's not what I want. So that's my third advice to you is to don't settle. Don't settle for the things that are just in front of you. If there's something that you really and truly want and to add to your closet and the size is not available or the color is not available, don't just settle for something else. You can also wait until that piece that you really want, that size come back into stock, or the color, or maybe if it's a case where you like another color in the same style, you can get it. But don't settle for anything that's less than what you deserve. Don't settle for anything that's less than, what will make you happy. Because at the end of the day, when we do settle for less, when we settle for things that are not in keeping with ourselves, we're lying to ourselves. We're telling ourselves that, oh, I can't do better than this. This is as good as it gets, when really and truly it's not as good as it gets. If you want more in life, there is a possibility that you can get it. And, the way in which you can do that is just step out of step out of that fear of feeling as though you can't do any better and you're not able to get the things that you want, right? And life, we do have just one life. Like I'm getting all weird here, right? We do have one life, and it's up to us to decide how we want to live that life, and what are some of the things that will make us happy, and what are some of the things that are really going to truly empower us and really support us in a way that we show up as our best selves. So I want you to ask yourself these two questions when it comes to understanding where you're settling for less and how it's affecting not only your life, your closet, your business, but just generally you on a whole. First question is, what do you want? Right? Think about that for a moment. What do you want? And then the second question that I need you to answer is, what are you going to do about it? Because we can have desires and we can know that we want certain things in life. We can know that, there are areas in our lives where we're settling for less than we deserve, but we don't take the action to be able to get those things. We become fearful. We, become stuck in a space and you like, okay, I don't know what to do. So that's the second question I want you to ask yourself. What are you going to do about it? Because you deserve not only the best life that you want, you deserve a better wardrobe, you deserve a stronger personal style as well, to help you and support you go after the things that you want. So this is what I want you to do. I need you to invest in buying new pieces. No longer accept just having a closet full of hand-me-downs, right? I need you to stop comparing yourself to others. This is about us taking action. This is about us taking ownership in terms of what we want and how we want to move forward. So stop comparing yourself and accept who you are and find ways in which you can progress and you can become a better person. And of course, don't settle for what is in front of you. If what's in front of you is not what you want, be honest about it to yourself. Be clear about what you want and don't settle for whatever is just in front of you, because it's in front of you, because it's being presented to you, when you know there are more opportunities and there are more things that you want in life that will make you truly happy. Okay? So, if you want to be able to shift from settling for less and always dressing your best, I want to invite you to secure your spot for the 7 days style oh 7 days to style confidence one-on-one coaching with me. It's where we go through for 7 days, we go deeper into who you are and how you want to show up. For those 7 days, we do, understanding where are you settling, what are some of the things that you want to achieve, and how do you want to show, because it goes back to those two questions that I said before. It's like, what do you want and what are you going to do about it, right? What are you going to do about not having that strong personal style that affects your confidence? And once your confidence is affected, you're not able to go into those rooms and ask for what you want. You are not showing up as strong as you can in your personal brand on the social media space, and you're not really taking ownership of the spaces that you're in, right? You are not commanding respect. You're settling, like, okay, this is a position that I'm in, and you're dumbing down yourself because you don't find value, you don't see value in, I don't want to say value, because we all value ourselves, but we do have that fear of speaking up. And sometimes when we're not showing up, when we don't have that strong executive presence, that's where everything goes against what we want. That's when we start to settle for things that we don't want. So if you want to have that strong executive presence, you want to have the confidence to really pursue the things that you want, and you want to stop settling for less, you want to have that strong personal side. As I said, I do have one-on-one coaching. It's 7 days to style confidence, right? And you want to take me up on this offer, because I've had quite a few clients that you can go on my website as well, and you see testimonials from there where they've gone through a transition period of understanding really who they are and how they want to show up. So you want to be able to take me up on that offer. I will definitely drop the link in the comments. Let's put that in there so you can get that. Put that in the chat. You can get that. So click on the link and secure your spot there. So thank you very much to everyone that showed up today. And if you're watching the replay, the idea is, and I want to encourage you to just really pursue the things that you want. Look at those areas in which you are settling for less, right? Not just in your wardrobe, but in your life, in your business, and in your career. And really think about how you want to show up differently, how you want to change, how do you want to, really amplify your voice and really live a life that is authentic to who you are, and a life that makes you happy. So thank you very much for tuning in, for being here with me on this broadcast. I know, I started a little late, and that's because of technical difficulties. So thank you very much for those of you who are watching the replay and who joined me earlier today. So coming up next week, we're going to talk about making your comeback. With everything that's happened over the last couple of months, a lot of you have lost your sense of style and lost your confidence in a way. So we're talking about making your comeback and styling for the year that you want. Okay, we're no longer wearing sweatpants. We're no longer wearing frumpy clothing or wearing clothing that doesn't fit us or support us. We are going to dress for the year that we want, regardless of what's happening in the world. At the end of the day, you need to show up as your best self, because there's still work that you need to do. There's still spaces that you need to get in, and there's still conversations that needs to be had. So join me next week, Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully LinkedIn doesn't have another issue at that time. But yes, I'm looking forward to having these conversations with you. I do appreciate all of you being here. And as I said before, don't forget to secure your spot. Let's redefine your wardrobe so that you can get the success that you need. So thanks again for joining me. I do appreciate all of you being here, and I will see you next week, Thursday, same place, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great one, guys. Bye.